All right, so um, we're diving into something that I think we've all struggled with at one point or another.
Yeah.
Giving our dogs pills. Ugh. It's like they have some kind of sixth sense
Yeah.
for hidden medication.
Oh, absolutely.
It's uncanny. So we've got some great sources here, though. We've got an article from Pet Helpful. We've got a guide from GoodArcs. And we even have a demo video on YouTube.
Oh,
So we're
nice.
going to extract the absolute best tips and tricks from these to make pill time way less stressful.
Awesome.
I have to admit, I have tried the whole hide it in food trick a million times, and my dog always finds it. It's incredible.
You're not alone. Dogs, they have an incredible sense of smell, way more powerful than ours.
Oh, yeah.
What's really interesting is that they often use the superpower to their advantage.
Okay, so that explains why my dog can sniff out a tiny little pill
Yeah.
buried in a mountain of peanut butter.
Exactly.
So, if hiding it is a bust, what's the most reliable way to get them to actually swallow their medicine?
Well, direct administration? I know it sounds a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But the YouTube video, it breaks it down really well. It's all about getting that pill right to the back of their tongue, past that little bump on the roof of their mouth.
See, I've always been terrified of doing that. I'd be so worried about, like, choking my dog or hurting them.
I totally get that fear.
Yeah.
But the vet in the video explains that with a little practice, it becomes a smooth, quick process. And actually, for some dogs, it's actually less stressful than the whole pill hiding game because it's just over quickly. Like, think of it as like a quick, gentle swoop and pop.
Swoop and pop. I like that.
Yeah,
But some dogs have those, like, super squishy faces. Like, how do you even find the back of their tongue?
that's a great question. And that's where understanding different breeds and their mouth anatomy comes in. So, like brachycephalic breeds, those are the shorter snouts, like pugs or bulldogs. And you might need a slightly different angle, but the key is to gently lift their chin up and then use your index finger to guide the pill as far back as possible.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But, let's be real. No dog actually enjoys having a pill shoved down their throat.
Right.
So are there any tricks to make that swoop and pop a little bit more appealing?
Absolutely. The video had a great tip. So before you even touch the pill, swipe it quickly through something tasty and smelly, like a little wet food, a dollop of yogurt, even a smidge of peanut butter, if they're not allergic, of course.
Go smart.
Yeah, it basically masks the medicine scent and just makes the whole experience a bit more enticing for them.
So we're not abandoning the tasty aspect
Yeah.
entirely.
No, no, no.
We're just being more strategic about it.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you're starting to build positive associations. So the dog links pen time with a tasty treat, and that makes them less resistant in the long run.
That's a really great point. So it's like training them to accept it rather than forcing them.
Yeah.
And speaking of training, the video also mentioned strategic timing. What's that all about?
This is where we leverage their natural feeding drive. So the vet recommends giving the pill right before their regular mealtime.
Interesting.
Think about it. When they're hungry and they're excited for dinner, they're less likely to be picky or suspicious. So it's all about capitalizing on that, like, dinner time anticipation.
Okay, I am loving these little psychology hacks.
Yeah.
But what about those dogs who are like champion pill detectors?
Yeah.
Even with the tasty camouflage. My dog, I'm telling you, he could probably sniff out a pill in Fort Knox.
Wow.
What are options then?
Well, then we move on to Plan B, the art of pill hiding. And that Pith Helpful article was a treasure trove of creative ideas. What stood out to you?
Honestly, the meatball method. I mean, who doesn't love a good meatball?
It's a classic for a reason. The article suggests, soaking dry kibble in water, then grinding it up to make these little meatball disguises around the pill. And
Yeah.
get this, they even roll them in extra ground kibble
Wow.
for like the ultimate camouflage.
So it's like a culinary masterpiece designed to fool
Exactly.
even the most discerning canine palate.
It taps into their love of, familiar flavors and textures, so they're less likely to suspect anything's amiss.
Right.
And speaking of clever disguises, they also mention cheese balls. So you warm up some cheese slices until they're all nice and pliable.
Wait, warm it up.
Yeah.
See, I've tried the cheese trick before, but it's always been such a crumbly mess.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
It is. And both the Helpful article and the GoodArcs guide, they highlight the effectiveness of creamy textures in general.
Oh, yeah.
So like peanut butter, cream cheese, even plain pumpkin.
Interesting.
What's fascinating here is that it plays on a dog's natural swallowing mechanism.
Okay.
So that creamy texture, it completely coats the pill and its scent, making it much harder for them to spit it out.
It's like a delicious trap.
Exactly.
But even with the best camouflage, some dogs are they're super chewers. My dog would dissect a meatball in like 2 seconds. So what do you do then?
Ugh, the persistent chewers.
Oh,
Well, the Pet Helpful article, it has this brilliant solution for that.
okay.
It's called desensitizing them to surprises.
Okay, that sounds intriguing. How does that work?
It's all about breaking that association of treat always equals hidden pill.
Okay.
So you occasionally give them the same pill-hiding treat, but without the pill. Maybe put a piece of their regular kibble inside instead.
Oh. So they learn that it's a little bit of a gamble. Sometimes there's a bonus treat, sometimes not.
Exactly. It keeps them guessing.
Yeah.
And it makes them less likely to automatically assume there's a pill lurking inside every delicious morsel.
That's so clever. I'm definitely adding that to my arsenal of tricks.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground here. Direct administration, pill-hiding tactics, even canine psychology.
Yeah.
But what about those, like, truly hardcore cases? The dogs that just flat out refuse any of these methods, or the dogs that have dietary restrictions where you can't even use food.
You're right. Those are trickier situations. But fear not, there are still options. Both sources mention some advanced techniques. One that stands out is the pill gun.
Pill gun. That sounds a bit intense. Isn't that more for cats?
You might be surprised. So while it is more common with cats, pill guns can actually be quite effective for certain dogs, especially those who are very resistant to having their mouths handled. It allows you to kind of bypass all the struggle and deliver that pill quickly and directly. Now, the Good Arcs Guide does stress the importance of proper technique here, so it's best to have your vet demonstrate how to use it safely and effectively.
Okay, so always consult with the vet before trying any advanced techniques. Makes sense. What other options are there for those, like, extreme cases?
Well, crushing the pill into a powder is a possibility.
Oh, okay.
But, and this is crucial, you absolutely must check with your vet first.
Right.
Because some medications can't be crushed, and others have special coatings that are essential for their effectiveness.
So no DIY pill crushing without the vet's approval. Got it. Anything else?
There is. For the truly challenging cases, or dogs who need medication long-term, there's the option of compounding pharmacies.
Compounding pharmacies. I've never heard of those. What are those?
Think of them as custom medication creators.
Oh.
They can actually formulate the medication into different forms. So like flavored liquids, chewable treats, even transdermal gels that you apply to their skin.
Wow.
It's a lifesaver for picky pups and their, stressed out owners.
That's incredible. It sounds like there's a solution for every dog,
I think so.
no matter how stubborn they are about taking their medicine. But with all these options, it can feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
What are the most crucial things to keep in mind?
You're right. It's a lot to process. I think the most important takeaway is this. Giving medication is about more than just getting that pill down. It's about building trust and minimizing stress for both you and your dog. And the Good Arcs Guide had this great section on do's and don'ts that really emphasizes this.
So it's not just about the mechanics.
No.
It's about the emotional aspect, too.
Absolutely. If you're all tense and anxious, your dog will pick up on that and mirror your energy.
Oh, for sure.
And the Pet Helpful article really stressed the potential for negative repercussions if a dog feels, forced or scared during medication time. It can damage their trust and make them even more resistant in the future.
That makes so much sense. So how can we make pill time more positive
Yeah.
and less stressful for everyone involved?
It all comes down to patience, positive reinforcement, and understanding your dog's individual personality. The Good Arcs Guide highlights the importance of praise, rewards, and making the whole experience as enjoyable as possible.
So turning it into like a fun little game.
Yeah.
Or maybe a quick training session.
Exactly. If your dog associates medication time with treats, praise, and maybe even a little playtime afterwards, they're going to be much more likely to cooperate. And over time, you'll both feel less stressed about the whole process.
I love that. We're basically transforming a potentially negative experience
Right.
into a positive bonding moment.
Precisely. And to kind of wrap things up, I think the most valuable piece of advice from both sources really is this. Observe your dog. Pay attention to their cues, their preferences. You know what makes them happy, what makes them relaxed, and then use that knowledge to tailor your approach. What works for one dog might not work for another. It's all about finding what fits your unique furry friend.
So it's like a personalized pill-giving plan.
Exactly. The more you understand your dog, the better equipped you'll be to make medication time as stress-free and positive as possible. And that, my friend, is the key to giving a pill like a pro.
That's fantastic advice, and I think a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep